This episode is brought to you by Amazon. Sometimes the most painful part of getting sick is the getting better part. Waiting on hold for an appointment, sitting in crowded waiting rooms, standing in line at the pharmacy, that's painful. Amazon One Medical and Amazon Pharmacy remove those painful parts of getting better with things like 24/7 virtual visits and prescriptions delivered to your door. Thanks to Amazon Pharmacy and Amazon One Medical, healthcare just got less painful.
'Twas the night before vacation, and all through the house, every creature was rushing, even a mouse. I don't know the rest of the poem, actually. Guys, it's the night before vacation. It's the night before I leave. Leave, 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 leave. You know my favorite thing about this podcast? I will always find a way to sing. Guys, I just got my nails done. I need to take a picture of it, and then I want to post it on Instagram so I can tag my nail girl. She did such a good job. I was actually on team with her in high school. And so, drill team, by the way. If y'all didn't know, I was a drill team girl. If there, anytime I run into another drill team girl, we always click, instantly. And then later on, it will come up in conversation, yeah, when I was on drill team, and I'll be like, you were on drill team? I knew I liked you. Every single time, something about, oh no, my bad, y'all. I got a phone call from Danny because we're about to leave. Woo, 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 woo. Yeah, guys, sometimes I understand if y'all log out. Sometimes I understand if you're like, I don't want to listen to this girl's podcast anymore. But right now I'm dry. I'm cold. I need to upload podcast episodes for y'all so I can have them scheduled while I'm out. I'm out of town, thugging with my rounds, my pink, my brown. I'm looking for the quit playing, come suck up toes. I hate the clean versions of song. That's something. That's what pisses me off this week. The clean versions of songs. I cannot stand the clean version of a song. The clean version of a song, to me, it just takes away from the oomph. It takes away from the flair, right? It takes away the seasoning in it. And I understand. That's not everyone's cup of tea, right? I understand there are people out there who, can't stand a curse word. They think, it's so, cursing is so uncreative. Talking about sexual things are so uncreative. Me, no, baby. No, baby. There are people who get so creative with curse words. It's amazing. Sometimes I want to be like them. Talking about sexual things, I don't like it when people just do, the basic, the basic overdone jokes. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, go watch a stand-up comedian set. Go watch a stand-up comedian set where their whole set is just sexual jokes. It typically is never funny. It never is. Because the jokes are always the same thing over and over. This girl's a dead fish. Ooh, it stank. Blah, blah. Just overdone. And I'm like, that's truly not funny. But when you get creative, when you start talking about things that, people never thought to talk about, that's where it gets so funny to me, is, if you can actually be creative. But that's just me, though. I know that's not everybody's cup of tea, but it's my cup of tea. Talking about a cup of tea, I need to go ahead and make myself some coffee because I think I'm going to need energy for today. And I have a little root beer energy drink that a friend of mine gave me because she has a company where she's, selling healthy products. So, energy drinks, workout supplements. Oh, my God, I was getting a phone call. Tea. Oh, no, I did get a phone call, and I missed it. Okay, well, talk to y'all later. This is about to be a podcast episode of nothing but, clips come together. Stand together right now over me. Yeah, yeah, stand together. y'all want to hear something so funny? No, I'm going to leave it. But yeah, I want to post a picture of my nails on Instagram, and then I want to tag my nail girl. I was in high school with her. She did great. Love it. Everyone who looks at my nails keep being like, they are so pretty. And I'm like, oh my God, thank you. Y'all could never. And they really could. All they had to do was go to my nail girl and they would have the same nails. But like, it's so cute. There's not much happening. It's just a travel day. And like, I don't want to bring my computer at all because I would love to do like a little vlog. Oh, wait, I could do vlog clips for y'all throughout the day, but like, you're just going to get the content way later, you know? So I'll definitely vlog my little trippy trip. Okay. Y'all, I'm not going to lie to you. I'm slightly nervous because I have dual citizenship, and I have dual citizenship through my mother, Erin, Pierre. That's Mufasa. Oh, I keep watching that video. I have seen that video about 30,000 times. I'm not even kidding. I'm like, bro, I have to save that video to my phone so when TikTok gets banned, I can still watch it, which I'm really sad about that. TikTok being banned. You know what? You know what else pisses me off? The weight limit on suitcases. I know they need to balance the plane. I know it's that important, blase, blase. But you know why I'm like, it doesn't seem to be that big of a deal, and that's why it's irritating me? Because if you have an overweight suitcase, they just are like, so the weight limit's 50 pounds, right? If your suitcase is 51.5, they go, okay, you can pay the overweight fees and we can send the bag in. But what? If you come in with a suitcase 70 pounds, they're like, okay, just pay the overweight fee. Turns out anything that's over 70 pounds, those fees go higher and higher. But they're like, just pay the overweight fee and we'll send it through. And that's what irks me. Because if it was really that important, if it was really about balancing the plane and not having too much weight on the plane, then why don't we just, I don't know, not let the bags through? I don't know, if it was really about weight limits, why don't we just not let the bags through? And I know having people pay for it limits the amount of people that will bring it because people don't want to pay those fees. But what happens when you get a bunch of rich people who end up like every seat, rich as hell, Boeing 737, it might fall out the sky, which is why I'm afraid to even go flying today because we're about to be on a bunch of Boeing planes. And I'm like, Boeing, you haven't been keeping your customers safe. But you know what? That's besides the point. I'm going to just get drunk before I go or something. It's times like this when I wish I could like take an edible, but I just don't do weed. And I'm just like, give me an Eddie, bro. I hear people on them have good times. Maybe I need a little Xan. Maybe I need what Drake said, I took half a Xan, 13 hours till I land, had me out like a light. Maybe I need that. But I'm going to just read my book the entire time. I think it's like a 4 or 5 hour flight. So I'm so excited to see how much through the book that I can get through. This is why I love flying and airport times. Because I just sit there and read. And like no one can talk to me except for the air hostess. And do y'all ever get on planes? What was I saying? Hold on. We were talking about things. We were talking about weight limits. Oh yeah. Rich people. Boeing 737, right? All of them have bags 120 pounds over the weight limit. And they don't care. And they're all paying fees. Then what? Oh, that's what I thought. The plane still wouldn't go down. So just let me and my overweight bag through, please. Things that piss me off. I hate, to me, I understand that, you know, there's a lot of things that companies do to basically only limit to rich customers because they spend so much money on it. And they're like, this is to be able to give a luxurious experience to people who can afford it. But I feel like now, especially in America, because I don't think it's like this around other countries, but in America, because we do have a very, and it's not, I want to say big, but it's not that big, but we do have a nicely sized class of very wealthy people here. And so they like to really push these very high-end, expensive luxury experiences to them, promising them so many different things. And I just feel like there's so many things in America that don't need to be restricted to high earners. There's like weight limits. That doesn't need to be restricted to high earners. So only high earners who can afford it can overpack if they want to. Y'all realize poor people also have a lot of things, right? Like, why is it only restricted to high earners? Like if we're talking about, Secret Service level style security, yeah, keep that to the high earners. Like, I don't really need that as a poor person. I mean, it might come in handy in the hood so no one tries to like break in and rob me. But like, what am I actually doing with like Secret Service level security, right? Go ahead, keep that to the high earners. Certain cars, I understand. Like, especially concept cars. I learned what a concept car was from watching. I can't even think of it. It's on Netflix. Their company is Gotham Garage. They built a concept car and it sold for like $300,000 or something like that. And they're trying to like sell their concept car for like $1 million because it can really bring in a whole lot of money for the body shop and this and that. And so stuff like that, because it's art and I'm literally a liberal arts major, how could I say no to like art pieces being very expensive? Even that paintings and stuff. I understand that like paintings are like, sometimes it really seems like a scam because I mean that banana taped to a wall sold for 6.8 million, I think, all because the guy was like, yeah, I want to eat it. Bro, I could tape a banana to a wall. And you're telling me it just sold for 6.8 million. So that's why a lot of people are like, oh, you can use that because if you donate a piece of art and you say my artwork is worth $10 million. Okay, well, all it takes is one person willing to say like, yeah, I would buy that for $10 million. And now it's worth $10 million. And so then you can use that as really big tax write-offs for the rich and wealthy. There's all these loopholes for the rich and wealthy. But you know what? I really don't care. It's art, I'm okay with that. Let an artist get paid. I mean, my favorite piece of artwork is literally called Take the Money and Run, where a museum commissioned an artist 80 grand to paint a picture and for them to display in the museum. And instead, he turned in a gigantic blank canvas, the paint supplies, the paintbrushes, and titled it Take the Money and Run. Or she. I actually don't know if it's a man or... I'm pretty sure it's a man, though. That's one of my favorite art pieces because it's something I would love to do, right? I would love to take the money and run. That, and to be able to do it in such an artful way, like, love that, right? So I can't complain about art. But when it comes to certain things like cars, and I know I just said, like, cars are okay to be high-end, but I'm talking about, like, why is a G-Wagon $100,000? Bro. And especially finding out that G-Wagons are basically like Jeeps and that G-Wagon is just the luxurious version of a Jeep. And I understand for the people who are like G-Wagon fans and are about to tell me everything about a G-Wagon, hey, it's one of my favorite cars too. I really want a G-Wagon. I've done a lot of research on it. Not to the point of like understanding everything under the hood and everything and understanding all the specs, but like literally it's just like a luxurious Jeep. And it's actually the most expensive car within that category. Why is it $100,000? Because a bunch of celebrities and influencers drive around in it, and so now y'all get to up the price because people want it more. Certain purses, Jesus Christ, why are purses $1,000, $2,000? Why is a Birkin $10,000 to $30,000? Why is that the price of a Birkin? It's a leather purse. BFFR. There are just some things where I'm like, I don't get it. And I know anything can be art, but Jesus Christ, a purse for $10,000. And then we just let rich people go out there and buy it because they have the money. Like, I swear to God, like sometimes I just feel like these things are created so that people, especially billionaires, and I'm talking about like Elon Musk billionaires, like, I understand being a billionaire is always considered unethical. That's too much money. You have to do unethical things to get there. But a person having $1 billion kind of doesn't bother me. I definitely should, because why is there an American system that allows people to have $1 billion and whatnot? But to me, I'm like, you know why it doesn't bother me? Because there are people out there with 30 billion, 40 billion, 50 billion. Like, there is a wealth gap between billionaires. Go watch Billionaires Explained on Netflix. The whole series is called Explained. It's one of my favorite series because I love understanding things in depth, right? Billionaires Explained. That's the episode. It's called Billionaires. Go watch it and listen to how they talk about it. Listen to how billionaires talk about themselves. It is so insane to hear. I think Mark Cuban had said, well, no, I remember Mark Cuban had made the comment of like, yeah, the point being, there's a wealth gap in billionaires. So there's a few billionaires who only have like $1 to $10 billion, right? And then you have your mega billionaires who have like 100 billion, 300 billion. What's his name? Elon Musk officially hit 400 billion, richest man in the world, right? And so there's a wealth gap between billionaires. And even Mark Cuban said, like, yeah, sometimes he sits there and like looks at those people and he's like, damn, like y'all have way more money than me. At the time, his net worth was $4 billion. And so he's like, yeah, there's billionaires out there who have way more money than me. And sometimes I have to sit there and be like, shut up, you're a billionaire, right? And it's like, that is so insane, because even though it's like not a billionaire being jealous and wanting more money, but on a human scale, when you see someone have something that looks and like perceived to you like it would feel better to have more money, to have more access to things, to do more things, you would want it too, right? And so on a psychological standpoint, I understand why he would be like, damn, not there being billionaires richer than me. And then he has to humble himself and be like, you literally have a net worth of $4 billion. You need to shut the hell up. So that's why I'm like, it's up to the systems. It's up to the systems to fix that, to not allow there to be, I mean, even if we let a few billionaires slip by, right? But there shouldn't be, and there should be no one on this planet that has $100 billion. Nobody. 10 billion, because I know there's 400 billion, 10 billion, I'm like, okay, that doesn't seem that bad. But if we get to a place where like the richest you can get is 10 billion, then we'll still realize how like crazy wealthy that is. And like even that needs to come down, because what are you doing with that money? There's no need for that. You have too much. Having money in a world that we live in gives you too much power. It gives you too much accessibility. And so that's why I'm like, why are things so expensive? Why do things exclude certain classes of people when there's no need for that? Why is there literally like, if I pay $400 more, I get to sit in first class instead of economy? We're on the same damn plane. We're going to the same destination, bro. Like, it doesn't make sense to me. It really doesn't. And if it's because y'all want to come back and be like, well, that's the business model, it'll fail, because right now airlines are going bankrupt because they don't have first class seats, right? That's why Spirit and Frontier are kind of falling apart. Well, you built a bad business model and that makes you a bad business person. That's not my fault. If your business model would fail without excluding people and having to offer high-end luxury services for people, you made a bad business model. I don't know what to tell you. Why is your business model dependent on the very rich few? That's not my issue. Anyways, you know what? I'm going to leave this episode as a rant. I'm going to be done. I'm checking out, because now I done pissed myself off. Now I don't want to talk anymore. Okay, yeah, I'm done. We're ending the episode here. Ta-ta for now. Show's over. Bye.